In this video, we want to look at the answers and solutions to the test. So let me type a name here. I'll call this marking scheme. Then we click next. So the first question says, which property of arithmetic operation is illustrated below? So let's have a look at this arithmetic operation here. We can see that we have on the left hand side a plus b plus c, and also on the right hand side we have the same a plus b plus c, but on the left hand side the bracket is covering b and c, but on the right hand side the bracket is covering a and b. So this is just a simple shift of the bracket. So this is associative property. So the correct answer is associative. Question 2. Evaluate 46 times 102 all plus 102 times 54. Okay, so this is like an expansion of a distribution. We can see the 102 multiplying 46 and at the same time also multiplying the 54. So it means it is similar to this 102 multiplying the sum of 46 and 54. So we can just add this, and this is 102 times 100, and when we are multiplying by 100 we just add the 2 zeros, so the answer will be 10200. So that will be the correct answer, 10200. Next question, which of the following is a rational number? So rational numbers can be expressed as a fraction. The first one here is a decimal which keeps changing, which is not recurring, so it is an irrational number. And then pi is also an irrational number because its numerical value is also a decimal which keeps changing. But 25% is the same as 25 over 100, which is 1 over 4. So we can express that as a fraction. So it is a rational number. Write the rational number that is labeled on the number line as A. So let's draw that part of the number line here. So assuming this is the number line, we have 3, and then we have 4. And then there are 4 marks in between. So this means the space between 3 and 4 has been divided into 5 equal parts. Okay, and then the third mark is where the A is. So to locate that point, we know that this number here is greater than 3, but it's between 3 and 4, so it will be 3 whole number. And then since it was the third mark that was ticked, this was the first one, second one, and then the third one, so my numerator will be 3, and then the number of spaces that I have between 3 and 4 is 5, so this will be 3 whole number, 3 over 5. So with this, I know that I have 3 point something, and 3 over 5 is the same as 0.6. Okay, so that means I have 3 plus 0.6. 3 plus 0.6 will give me 3.6. Okay, or a very simple way of locating it, just checking it as a number line. Since we have 3 and then 4, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it is divided into 5 equal parts, if we should count from 3 to 4 as 1, that means each division will be 0.2. So this will be 3.2, this will be 3.4, this will be 3.6, this is 3.8, and then 4.0. Okay, so those are the decimal marks, and this is what we are looking for. So the answer is 3.6. Which of the following represents the set of whole numbers? So whole numbers start from 0 and do not end. So the correct answer is this. Arrange the following in ascending order. So we have to write these numbers in the same format. Either we change them to fractions or decimals or percentages so that they have the same format, then we can compare them. So I'm going to change them to decimal so that I can easily compare them. The first one here is 0.3. So I'm going to maintain it. It's 0.3. And then the square root of 9 is the same as 3. So that would be 3.0. And then 3% is equal to 3 over 100. And that'll give me 0.03. So I have 0.03. So checking from left to right, I'll notice that this is the biggest number, that is the square root of 9, followed by 0.3, that's the next biggest number, and the smallest number is the 3%. So if we are arranging in descending order, the correct answer will be square root of 9 followed by 0.3, and the smallest number is 3%. Given that we have 5 plus 10 in the brackets being added to 18 is equal to 5 plus in the bracket 4n plus 18. So this is actually applying our knowledge of associative property. I have 5 plus 10 plus 18 is equal to 5 plus 4n plus 18. You'll notice that the same 5 is here, and then the same 18 is here, and the brackets have shifted, which do not change anything according to associative property. So that means this 4n is the same as the 10. So we have 4n is equal to 10. We divide both sides by 4, and then we get n to be equal to 2.5 or 2.5. So that is the correct answer. Simplify the fractions. So let's solve that over here. So I have 5 whole number, 2 over 3, 2 whole number, 1 over 2 times 2. So let's change the mixed fractions to improper fractions. So this will give me 17 over 3 minus 5 over 2 times 2, which is the same as 2 over 1. And according to board maths, we have to solve multiplication before doing addition or subtraction. So when we multiply this, we just multiply the numerators and denominators. So now I'll get 17 over 3 is equal to 5 times 2 is 10. And then 2 times 1 is 2. So now I can solve this by finding the LCM. I have 6. 3 will divide this 2 times. 3 times 17 is 34. Minus 2 divide 6 3 times 10 is 30. So now I have 4 over 6, which is the same as 2 over 3. So that is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next section. We have linear equations. So for the first one, we have to solve for h. So I have 15 minus 2h is equal to 6. I'll move the 15 to the other side, and I have minus 2h is equal to 6 minus 15. Then I have minus or negative 2h is equal to negative 9. And then I'll divide both sides by negative 2. So I have negative 2h over negative 2 is equal to negative 9 over negative 2. So this will cancel that, negatives will cancel, and I'll have 9 divided by 2, which is the same as 4.5 or 4.5. So my answer is 4.5. Next question, we have to solve for m. Let's find the value of m in this equation. So we have 4, the bracket m plus 4 is equal to negative 8. We expand what we have here because we can't add m to 4. So 4 will multiply the m. So I'll get 4m, and then 4 multiply the 4 as well. So I'll get plus 4 times 4 is 16, giving me negative 8. I'll move the 16 to the other side. I have 4m is equal to negative 8 minus 16. So I have 4m is equal to negative 24. I'll divide both sides by 4. 4m divided by 4 is equal to negative 24 divided by 4. So I have m is equal to, I have negative 24 divided by 4. My answer will be negative 6. So the correct answer is -6. Next question, Kofi's age in the next 10 years will be 4 times his age 5 years ago. So let's solve that. So Kofi's age, so let's say let Kofi's age be equal to x. Kofi's age in the next 10 years, so that means x plus 10 will be, that means it will be equal to 4 times his age, 4 times his age 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, his age would have been x minus 5. Okay, so we solve for x in this equation. So we have x plus 10 is equal to 4x minus 20. I'll group the x on one side, so I have 10 plus 20 is equal to 4x minus x. I have 30 is equal to 3x, and when I divide both sides by 3, I'll get x to be equal to 10. X will be equal to 10, so that means Kofi is 10 years old. Solve for x in the equation. So I have 2 to bracket x plus 3 is equal to 4x. I can't add x to 3, so I have to expand what I have in the bracket. So I'll get 2x plus 6 is equal to 4x. Then I'll put the x's on one side. So I'll leave the 6 here. And then I'll have 4x minus 2x. So I have 6 is equal to 2x. And then I'll divide both sides by 2. And I'll get my x to be equal to 3. Okay, so the answer is 3. Twice the number is added to 3, and the answer is 7. Find the number. Twice a number is added to 3, and the answer is 7. So twice a number, we can say that it may be 2 times x is added to 3, and the answer is 7. So we solve for x, or any letter that you use here. So we have 2x is equal to 7 minus 3. 2x is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 2. I'll get x to be equal to 2. So the correct answer is 2. Next question, if 3 over 15 is equal to 45 over a, we should find a. So we have 3 out of 15 is equal to 45 over a. So this is similar to proportion, so we can do cross multiplication. So I have 3 times a, that will give me 3a is equal to 15 times 45. Okay, and then when I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get 3a over 3 is equal to 15 times 45 all over 3. So I can simplify here. 3 will divide itself once, and 3 will divide 15 5 times. So I just have to calculate 45 times 5 to get my value of a. So 45 times 5, I have 5, 5, 25. I have 2 in hand, and then 5 for 20 plus 2. So the answer is 225. Next question, I have to solve for x in this equation, which has a fraction in it. So I have 12 is equal to half x minus 3. I can multiply through by 2, so I have 2 times 12 is equal to 2 times half x minus 2 times 3. So this will give me 24. This 2 will cancel this 2, so I'll have just the x minus 2 times 3 is 6. So now I have 24 plus 6 is equal to x. So my x will be equal to 30. My x will be equal to 30. Okay, so actually the answer wasn't there, so this question was given as a bonus. Kofi is 2 years older than Amma. If the sum of their ages is 16, find Amma's age. Okay, so we are told that Kofi is 2 years older than Amma. So if Amma's age is equal to, let's say, A, and Kofi is 2 years older than Amma. So that means A plus 2 will give you Kofi's age. That would be Kofi's age. Okay. Now we are told that the sum of their ages is 16. So I should find Amma's age. So if I add this to this, I should get 16. So A plus 2 plus A, I should get 16. So I have A plus 2 is equal to 16. I have 2A plus 2 is equal to 16. So I have 2A is equal to 16 minus 2. So 2A is equal to 14. When I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to get 2A over 2 is equal to 14 over 2. And my A will be equal to 7. So Amma is 7 years old. Let's move on to the next section. Let's move on to ratio and proportion. Now the first question says, if 8 people can paint a fence in 2 hours, how many people are needed to complete the job in half an hour? So let's change the time to minutes, because half an hour is 30 minutes. So in the question, I know that 8 people will do the job in 2 hours, and 2 hours will be equal to 120 minutes. Okay, so let's write that 120 minutes. So they are asking how many people can do the job in half an hour. Half an hour is 30 minutes. Okay, so I have minutes and then people. So with an objective question, I don't have to go through the long procedure. So I'll just use this short method. Since it is indirect proportion, I'll just multiply the top numbers and write it on one side of the equation, and then the bottom numbers, I also multiply them and write it on another side. I have 30 times x. So now divide both sides by 30 to make my work easier. Okay, so this 0 cancels this cancels itself once. I have 4. 8 times 4 is 32. So the correct answer is 32 people. Next question, which of the following is equal to 1.5 hours? That is 1.5 hours. We know that 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. And then 0.5, that means half of an hour. Okay, half of an hour will be half of 3,600, which is 1,800. So 1.5 hours or 1.5 hours means I have to add 3,600 to 1,800, and this will give me 5,400. So the correct answer is 5,400 seconds. The lengths of the sides of two squares are 4 centimeters and 5 centimeters. Find in its simplest form the ratios of their areas. Okay, so we have two squares. One is having a length of 4 centimeters, and then the other is having a length of 5 centimeters. We want to find the ratio of their areas, so that means we have to find their areas. The area for the first one will be 4 times 4 because it is a square. So this will be 16 centimeters squared. And then the area for the bigger one will be 5 times 5, which is 25 centimeters squared. So if we write a ratio for their areas, it will simply be 16 to 25 because we can't break it down. So that's the correct answer. In a class of 30 students, 12 are girls. What is the ratio of boys in the school? Okay, so we have 30 students and 12 are girls. So if you want to know the number of boys, we just subtract the 12 from the 30, and that gives us 18. So the girls are 12 and the boys are 18. So that means I have a ratio of 18 is to 12. And when I break this down, I can use 6 to divide. I have 6 will divide this 3 times, and then 6 will divide this 2 times. So the ratio is 3 is to 2. Solve for n in this equation. So we have 3n plus 3 is to 5 is equal to 24 is to 5. Okay, so a very simple way of solving this, I noticed that there's no change in this figure here. So that means this 24 is equal to whatever I have here. So that means my 3 the bracket n plus 3 is equal to 24. I'll expand the bracket. I have 3n plus 9 is equal to 24. And then I have 3n is equal to 24 minus 9. So my 3n will be equal to 15. And then I'll divide both sides by 3. I get 15 over 3. And my n is equal to 5. Next question. A motorist covers a distance of 800 meters in 5 minutes. What distance in kilometers will the motorist cover in 1 hour? So this is a direct proportion because we have distance and time. So we are told that he covers 800 meters in 5 minutes. And we want the distance in kilometers. So let's first calculate it in meters. And then after that, we'll change it to kilometers. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay, so 60 minutes. So I have the minutes and then all that. So I'm just going to do a cross multiplication. Since this is an objective question, I don't have to show the full solution. So when I do a cross multiplication, it will be 800 times 60. And then I'll get 5 times x. Then when I divide both sides by 5, I'll get 800 times 60 all over 5 will give me the x. So 5 will divide itself 1, and then I know 5 will divide 60 12 times. So my answer will be 12 times 800, and that will give me 9,600 meters. But the answer should be in kilometers. So in changing from meters to kilometers, we divide by 1,000, and when you divide by 1,000, the decimal point will move to the left 3 times. So it will be 1 2 3. The decimal point will be here, so I'll get 9.6 kilometers. So the correct answer is 9.6 kilometers. Next question. If a car uses 2 hours to consume 10 liters of petrol, how many liters of petrol is consumed in 30 minutes? This is also direct proportion. The more petrol you use, the more time you spend. So we have 2 hours is equal to 10 liters, and they are asking for 30 minutes. How much liters will be consumed in 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Okay, so I'll have to change the 2 hours to minutes. That would be 120 minutes. Then I can use that to find my missing value. So cross multiplication. Okay, quick one. 120 times x is equal to 30 times 10. When I divide both sides by 120, I'll get 30 times 10 all over 120. Now I can easily cancel 12. I have 2 divided 6 times 2 divided 15 times. So I have 15 divided by 6. 3 divided is 2, 3 divided is 5. So my x is equal to 5 divided by 2, which is equal to 2.5. So the correct answer is 2.5 liters. 6 kilograms of chicken cost 30 Ghana cedis. How much would 2.5 kilograms of chicken cost? This is also a direct proportion. So we have 6 kg is 30 Ghana cedis. So 2.5 kg will be how many Ghana cedis? Okay, so cross multiplication of the figures. So I have 6 times x, or 6x is equal to 30 times 2.5. Then when I divide both sides by 6, I'll get 30 times 2.5 all over 6. And I can change the 25 into a whole number by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 10. So with that, I'll get 30 times 25 all over 60. So I can cancel the zeros. 6, 2, 3 divided is 2, 3 divided is 1. So I have 25 divided by 2. So I have x to be equal to 25 divided by 2, and that's equal to 12.5. So my answer will be 12 cedis, 50 pesos. It takes 28 days for 8 sheep to graze a field. How long will 2 sheep take to graze the same field if they feed at the same rate? So this tells us that it is indirect proportion. So we have 28 days for 8 sheep. Then if we have 2 sheep, how many days will that be? So since this is indirect proportion, I'm not going to do a cross multiplication, but I'll do forward multiplication. So I have 28 times 8 on one side of the equal sign, and then 2 times x, which is 2x on the other side. When I divide both sides by 2, I'll get 28 times 8 all over 2 is equal to x. 2 divide itself once, and 2 divide 8 4 times. So now I have 4 times 28, and that will give me 112. So the 2 sheep we use 112 days. It takes 10 minutes for a race car to complete a track with a speed of 40 meters per second. How long will the race car take to complete the same track if it travels at 50 meters per second? So this is speed and time, so it tells us that it is in direct proportion. So we have 10 minutes at 40 meters per second. So 10 minutes at 40 meters per second. And then how long will the race car take to cover the same track if it's traveling at 50 meters per second? So we have 50 meters per second. So how many minutes will that be? So this is indirect proportion. So I'm going to do the short method. I have 10 times 40 is equal to 50 times x. When I divide both sides by 50, I'll get 10 times 40 over 50 is equal to x. I can cancel this. 5 will divide itself once. Divide this 2. I have 2 times 4, and my answer is 8. So the time is 8 minutes. Express 2000 grams is to 1.5 kilograms as a ratio in its simplest term. So we have to change the units to the same. So I have 2000 grams, and then 1.5 kilograms means 1.5 thousand. So that would be 1500 grams. So it's to 1500 grams. And when we simplify this, we break it down, assuming I have 2000 over 1500, I have 20 over 15. 3 will divide this 5 times. 5 will divide this 3 times, and then 5 will divide this 4 times. So I'll end up with 4 is to 3 as the simplest ratio. So the correct answer is this. So those are the answers for the test, and when we view our score, we have 100%. Okay, so congratulations to all those who completed the test successfully.